Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, it's just with the Common Nerd bringing you pop culture and all things nerdy through a common sense lens. And man, oh man, has it been a rough year for Disney at the box office, boys and girls. I mean, the Marvel Cinematic Universe was an entire massive flop all year long. They've had some issues with a lot of their television shows. It just hasn't been a good year overall. Their earnings call flat out said that, yeah, things aren't going so very well on our entertainment side. And luckily, because we've reduced ourselves and squeezed out every single middle class person out there to where only the uber rich can go to Disney World, and we can squeeze every single penny out of those pixar dusters, did they slightly improve performance over there. Well, their latest addition to the overall Predator franchise, boys and girls, via the formerly Fox Entertainment brand out there, Predator Badlands isn't exactly doing so well at the box office. Yes, the new story made for a modern audience, all about your nonsense kind of garbage that you expect from the political correctness of modern Disney, was embodied in Predator Badlands. Long gone are the Arnold Schwarzenegger scenes with a monster going out there and literally wasting an entire special forces crowd. No, now we get the runt of a group just trying to go out there and prove himself with the synthetic running around girl boss character. And oh, color us shocked there. Ladies and gentlemen, it did not do so well at the box office. Predator Badlands could lose Disney over $60 million, and the franchise may return to streaming because, yes, if you don't remember, the last Predator movie out there, Prey, was a Hulu strictly only release. And honestly, I heard the movie wasn't all that half bad, but it certainly didn't make any major waves among the Predator fan base overall, and certainly didn't advance the narrative any way that some people would actually like to see. Gone are the days of Predator going out there and doing monstrous Predator badass things, and now we've got touchy-feely kind of emotional stories, and yay, joy for that kind of stuff. And like I said, we've got the official numbers as well now, and there's just no denying the fact that this thing's going to end up being a massive flop. But the real question is, how much money is it going to lose? What are the legs looking like? And is it unfortunately that we're not adding another Disney princess to the repertoire over there at Disney World? So we're going to check out this article over here from CosmicBook.news, getting all of the juicy details of how much of a disastrous dumpster fire this thing really is, because you know we love documenting the disastrous dumpster fires of all things Disney. But before we do, if you do enjoy our content, hit that like button, share with all your friends, and subscribe or follow if you have not already, boys and girls, because we are grinding, we are growing. We just crossed 2,400. We're sailing our way towards 25 on our journey to 100,000. I think we're sitting at like 2,448. And I could not do that without every single one of you. Also, leave us a comment in the section down below later what you think about all this. Does it surprise you at all that Predator Badlands absolutely flopped at the box office? Did you enjoy it? Did you go and see it? Did you think it was just another Disney disastrous dumpster fire waiting to happen so you didn't bother with it and you'll wait for streaming like so many other people clearly do at anything from the Disney brand at this point? Let us know what you think about it in the comment section down below. Now, to support the channel, please check out the links in the description as well, because your memberships do go a long way, as this, by the grace of God, is my full-time job. All right, boys and girls, from Matt McGloin over at CosmicBook.news. Predator Badlands is sliding fast at the box office, and at this point, it's looking like Disney could take a $60 million loss on the film, if not more. And remember, that's in addition to all of the massive flops. Freakier Friday 2, anybody? Yeah, that flopped and lost money at the box office as well. So literally, it's just adding even more onto the pile of massive debt and flops that Disney has had this year. After 13 days, as of Wednesday, and we'll get into the numbers today as of Monday, the 24th of November, when we're recording this video here in just a second. But after 13 days as of Wednesday, last week, the movie has earned domestically $69 million, giggity, international $70 million, and worldwide $139 million total. And the numbers aren't improving. Weekend number 2 cratered at just $13 million, a brutal 67.5% drop, signaling that the movie has already burned through its core audience. And it didn't get any better this weekend, boys and girls, because one of the things that we always like to bring up is the cone of happiness, right? And the cone of sadness, and how all of that ends up going out for them. Because as of right now, after an extra weekend at the box office. The international has only worldwide box office has only reached $160 million, boys and girls, and it's not looking good for them at all. And this is the problem. You've got the weekend over drop here. The box office stuff isn't wanting to pull up right now because the numbers, his website is being weird, but it'll probably load via the time we're in the middle of recording this. But this is where we've got opening weekend of $40 million. Look, there it is. There's our cone of happiness, right? So the cone of happiness right here that you see represented on the screen. This is where a movie, if it starts out at the same place, opening weekend, as to what Predator Badlands did, right? This is their typical. This is where 90% of your movies fall, is within this cone of happiness based on its little projection, right? Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to make a profit, but at least you're not falling flatter than everybody else that started at the same place you did. You'll notice Predator Badlands is now falling below that line. Now, it's not way outside of the cone of happiness, but it's definitely very much a line of disappointment, right? This is what we've got down here, is a line of disappointment, boys and girls, because even at its peak right now, obviously it's just domestic, but $80 million, well below what a lot of other things have ever performed on out there. And this is where they're talking about the weekend numbers, right? The weekend over weekend here, because like the article over at Cosmic Book News has said, this thing had a budget of $105 million. Now, that's strictly reported budget, obviously. And as we've all found out a million times over and over again, the actual budgets are always higher, sometimes way higher than the reported budget, but they are always higher than the reported budget. So this movie needs to make more than our predictions at even 2.5 times, right? As of right now, it's only sitting at 1.5 times its production budget, way below even the 2 times that some of the trade magazines and some of the simps for the spirit of the age like to say it actually needs. Robert Meyer Burnett, a guy that still works inside of the Hollywood industry out there, says 2.5 is the safer bet. If you want to know beyond a shadow of a doubt that a movie actually made a profit, it needs to do at least 2.5 times its production budget because of how insane all of the marketing prices have gone over the year. Obviously, this one isn't even sniffing close to that. So weekend over weekend is what always tells us the future of a movie, right? How much it drops. How much of a hold does it have? Is it going to have legs? Is it going to be able to recover from a weak box office opening weekend? Well, that is not going to happen with Disney's latest Not Gonna Be a Princess. November 7th, opening weekend, $40 million domestically. Next weekend, a 68% drop. November 21st, a 49% drop. Boys and girls, that is not where you want to see it. A really good, solid opening weekend drop for second weekend is 50 to 60%. That's really good. Average, normal to low end is 60 to 70%. 60 to 65 is about average, right? Things that are good and they're going to have long-term legs lie within that 50 to 60 range. Anything that falls within the 60 to 70 range, and especially on the higher end, closer to 70 for that second weekend drop, you're done. You're over. That means your core base, your core audience, they went and saw the movie. They're over. They're done with it, right? Guardians of the Galaxy, the one that had a notoriously very bad opening week, not horrible opening weekend, but comparatively to everything else that had been out there in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? But its weekend over weekend drop averaged somewhere around 50 to 55%, right? That movie had legs. This doesn't. 68% drop in the weekend, first weekend, 49% drop in the second weekend. What does this mean? This thing has no chance of making a profit whatsoever, and it's not even close. $105 million is what this cost them. As of right now, $160 million is all they have made globally, right? And we know the return from the overseas box office is way worse than that. You're talking easy $50 to $100 million loss on this movie, right? We're talking about at minimum, a $55 million loss based on just the worldwide box office numbers, based on strictly their reported budget. That's before factoring in marketing and everything else that we know they spent, which at minimum, they spent $50 million on marketing. which means they are all basically beyond a shadow of a doubt going to lose at least $100 million on this movie. It's not even close. This thing is a massive flop for Disney. With a $105 million budget, the industry standard of 2.5 times multiplier needed to break even, Badlands must hit $262.5 million worldwide just to stop losing money, just to get into the spot of making a profit. It's not even going to come close. It'll be a miracle at this point if this thing even tops out at $200 million, however long they decide to keep this in the theaters, right? And we know how Disney is. This thing won't be in the theaters more than 30, 45 days at the max. More than likely 30 days. And this thing will be on Disney streaming where everybody has been waiting to watch it anyway. That's proven based on these box office numbers alone. And guess what? Ain't nobody new signing up to Disney Plus, bringing in any new revenue for Predator Badlands, boys and girls. That's just not going to happen. So all of you like pixie dusters out there who snort everything that Disney farts out of their butts, come out and go, well, they'll make up for it on-demand sales. Oh, really? Okay, you're not going to make up for like essentially $150 million of a loss on your on-demand sales at $20 a pop for a movie that's not even going to crack $200 million internationally. That's pathetic. Even if Predator Badlands manages a generous tail, which it's not going to, based on what we've seen already via the third weekend, the math is unavoidable. If it reaches $100 million domestically, if it's lucky, it's not going to. That would only add roughly $30 million to its current domestic opening total, landing at domestic $100 million. Worldwide, $70 million. Plus $30 million equals $200 million. It's not going to hit $200 million. It is not going to make $40 million globally in the next, week, 2 weeks that Disney keeps this in theaters before shipping it off to Disney Plus. It's not going to happen. This movie is a massive loss. And if the international side adds another $30 million, you're looking at $200 million worldwide finish, far below the $262.5 million even break point. That's at least a $60 million loss. Realistically, looking more is once marketing is included. Disney will not be happy about that math. Another major takeaway, a flop of this size could kill theatrical Predator releases for the foreseeable future. And honestly, as a movie that's supposed to be heavy on action set pieces, that's something you want seen on the big screen in IMAX. And guess what? For all you Predator fans out there, that's over. Disney already sent Prey straight to streaming, which is obviously hoped Badlands would be successful theatrically. However, if the studio loses tens of millions of dollars on Badlands, more likely about $100 million, execs may decide the Predator belongs on streaming and theatrical releases are too risky, which means guess what? Limited budgets, less scope of a story, and more than likely, more Alien Earth styles Predator shows. Boy, won't Sunker Maiden be happy about that one, boys and girls? It's exactly what Disney did with Home Alone, Hocus Pocus, Prey, and other legacy IP, not to mention cutting back on content involving Marvel, Star Wars, and two of their biggest guns. What was once a solid, fresh direction for the franchise has quickly become a financial liability. With Badlands now tracking toward a significant loss and no signs of recovery, the film may go down as another example of Disney greenlighting a 9-figure project without the audience demand to support it. Unless the international box office makes a dramatic late surge, Predator Badlands is on track to lose more than $60 million, and its failure may send the franchise back to its streaming-owned releases. I mean, this is what we saw what happened with Star Wars, right? I mean, I know we've got a couple of movies in the pipeline now, but that's been after almost a decade of absence after Disney promised us a movie every other year when they bought George Lucas's Star Wars and turned it into the disastrous dumpster fire that it currently is, right? This movie's going to lose them tens of millions of dollars, right? More than likely around $100 million after what they've spent on marketing for this movie. A movie that sounded like just every other typical nonsense that we've had out there from the garbage. Oh, he's treated bad by his family. Oh, his father doesn't approve of him. Right. He's got a bad dad. Oh, look at the female best friend that's going to come in there and make him believe in himself. Oh, she's going to be a girl boss synthetic. She's going to help him out. She's not going to be able to do it. He's not going to be able to do it without her. More typical slop. Did you see Alien Earth? Even I didn't think it was that bad of a show, but my co-host Sunker absolutely hated it. And I can understand every one of her reasons behind it. I'm just not as critical as she is, which is why I keep her around. But Predator, Badlands, this is undeniable. This isn't just somebody's opinion on the internet. This isn't people not deciding to watch a television show. This is the Predator fan base deciding to not go to the theaters to see what's supposed to be an action-heavy movie. And guess what, Disney? That's your fault. You thought you could put something like this, you thought you could hire these exact same kind of people for a franchise that's supposed to be filled with testosterone and violent action and turn it into a coming-of-age story like they're some damn Disney princess. How did that work out for you? Well, just like every other thing that's worked out in Hollywood over the last few years, when you decide to go with the modern age, you decide to hire people based on identity politics and not their love for the IP or the actual quality of their character, or God forbid the fact that they actually be able to do a good job at something. All of that's been gone from Disney for a very long time. And so this is what we get. Predator Badlands. And like we've shown over and over and over again, the fans decide what succeeds and what fails. Not the media, not the marketing, not your forced identity politics nonsense, not your shame of trying to go out there, well, if you don't see this movie, you're an hysterophobe. None of that determines whether or not a movie succeeds or fails at the box office. You decide whether or not a movie succeeds or fails at the box office. You, the customer, you, the fan. You are the one that has built these franchises into what they are. You are the one that spent your hours, your money, your free time, your energy on making these franchises as successful and as a rabid of a fan base as they have. And now you have chosen you don't want the Disney disastrous dumpster fire Predator Badlands. And you have now, once again, taught them another lesson about the slop they throw out there. Because the fans decide what succeeds and what fails. We have the power, not them. And you, the Predator fan, caused Disney to have another disastrous dumpster fire on their hands and lose hundreds of millions of dollars once again. Be proud of yourself, because the fans decide what succeeds and what fails. And guess what? No new Disney princesses, because Predator Badlands flopped at the box office. A big shout out to all of our subscribers and members out there. Thanks for watching, and make sure you guys like and subscribe if you have not already.